Jolie, it is you. I need your help.
Laura, of all the people, how did you even know I'd left Kashyyyk?
I didn't. Nobody knew where you were, not even Sunry. But I heard the Selkath mention you and your friends. The Force has brought you to help us.
Why? Whatever could be the matter, my dear?
It's horrible, Jolie. Sunry has been arrested. The Sith have accused him of murder.
Murder? But how?
It's all a mistake, Jolie. Sunry isn't a murderer. Someone is trying to frame him.
Calm down, Laura. Where's Sunry now?
Sunry's being held at the Selkath courts. They won't let anyone in to see him. Please, go to the courts. Talk to the judges. Maybe the Selkath will listen to you.
Don't worry, Laura. We'll get to the bottom of this and help Sunry. Somehow. Got something on your mind? What? You think because I'm a hermit, I've always been a hermit? Just because I haven't seen Sunry for 20 years doesn't mean he's not a friend. A man could have changed a lot in that span of time, though. But to become a murderer, I can't see it. That's not the Sunry I know. He was a good man. Put me up in his home for a year back after I left the Order. War hero, too. Or so I hear. I wouldn't mind helping the fellow if we can. I owe it to him. Or you can be a young monkey lizard and ignore me, I guess. Well, I don't expect much these days. Got something on your mind, dude? No, I never did I? Elusive? Me, elusive? Obviously, you've never tried to grab a Twi'lek dancing girl after drinking too much Onderan Willick juice. At any rate, I already told you why I wanted to leave. I'd seen everything I wanted to on Kashyyyk. Time to go. Time to move on. To bed! I'm old and tired, you know. How many kilometer-high trees can you find an interest in before you figure you've had enough? I'd bet you can't be bothered to stay in one room for more than 15 minutes. And then there's all the critters in the Shadowlands. I'm just happy to be back in space, doing something new. Is that too much to ask? So I could. Not having a ship does tend to put a damper on that kind of idea, however. I'll admit, for all its flaws, Kashyyyk was home enough. But when you came along and I saw the destiny you had before you, I couldn't help but be intrigued. Of course not. Weren't you listening last time? I can see that you have a destiny before you, but the details are far from clear. In fact, everything about you that I can see is odd. Slightly off, as if my eyes are trying to trick me. Something is very dark about you. But, I'm sure you don't need to hear my ruminations. You've probably got enough nosy Jedi offering you one opinion after another to make you sick. Your future will come of its own accord, trust me. Sometimes navel-gazing at it doesn't get you anywhere. I wouldn't worry about it too much if I were you. You remind me a bit of Nomi. That can't be all bad. Nomi Sunrider. She came late to the Force, just as you have, and became one of the greatest Jedi ever. Oh, fine, fine lass. Whether you'll follow the same path remains to be seen. For one thing, you'll never get anywhere if you stand around chatting up old men all day. Nonsense. If I ever refused to help you when you asked, how confused can one person be anyway? One thing I will say is that this little escapade does remind me a bit of my adventuring days before the war. Those were exciting times. Or at least it would remind me of those times if we didn't stand around. What's keeping you? You're too young to be so talkative. Shoo! Shoo!
How can I help? Manan is a water world inhabited by an aquatic race known as the Selkath. Their only surface city and spaceport is called Otto. It is unique in that the Selkath are firm in their neutrality. They are neither part of the Republic nor controlled by the Sith, and they wish to keep it that way. Then I suggest we move on.
Destruendo confidos detestinos, sacios, forgiveness king, malde, distrade boys, condemn the verticality, Kiotros sesiandande, Kiotrotenski, Dovo Gelbrennig, Infibudos can todos dan, men stila castis tonos des, Dovo kin, Kiotros sesiandande, Tagafan silsa, Infibudos can todos dan, men stila castis tonos des.
I suppose you're Sunry's only hope. We have to at least try to help him.
Forgiveness king, malde, distrade boys, condemn the verticality, Kiotros sesiandande, soletandialist, unsinnende, Destruendo confidos detestinos, sacios, forgiveness king, Kiotros sesiandande, Tagafan silsa, Infibudos can todos dan, men stila castis tonos des, soletandialist, unsinnende, Destruendo confidos detestinos, sacios, os humilde, destruendo confidos detestinos, os tompos canfi, distrade boys, condemn the verticality, forgiveness king, Kiotros sesiandande, Tagafan silsa, Infibudos can todos dan, men stila castis tonos des.
Yes, but it almost seems too heavily stacked, doesn't it? Very suspicious.
Forgiveness king, malde, distrade boys, condemn the verticality, Kiotros sesiandande, Kiotrotenski, Dovo Gelbrennig, Infibudos can todos dan, men stila castis tonos des. Kiotrotenski, Dovo Gelbrennig, Infibudos can todos dan, men stila castis tonos des. Endundansinga, soletandialist, Tiburodus anvilus, Forgiveness king, malde, distrade boys, condemn the verticality, Kiotros sesiandande, Kiotrotenski, Dovo Gelbrennig, Infibudos can todos dan, men stila castis tonos des.
Speaking of that injury, has it been taken into consideration, Your Honor?
Soletandialist, unsinnende, destruendo confidos detestinos, sacios, Tagafan silsa, Kiotrotenski, Dovo Gelbrennig, Infibudos can todos dan, men stila castis tonos des. Forgiveness king, Kiotros sesiandande, Tagafan silsa, Infibudos can todos dan, men stila castis tonos des. Kiotrotenski, Dovo Gelbrennig, Infibudos can todos dan, men stila castis tonos des. Tagafan silsa, Jag protenskin, tuovukel menek. Kinsi puudoskan tunnustan. Men stillakästi tunnustes. Tuovukeloskin, pistmalle. Pistralle pois. Omdramte valta kaldeteen. Kioprosessian bande. Jag protenskin, tuovukel menek. Kinsi puudoskan tunnustan. Men stillakästi tunnustes. Tuovukeloskin, kioprosessian bande. Tällä siltä. Kinsi puudoskan tunnustan. Men stillakästi tunnustes.
Simply because it was real does not mean Sunry would have overlooked it being in Elas's hand.
Cierta, infibulus clam todos dan, menstila castis tundos des, soletanilist, unsinlande, etiol, tanfer, destolono confidos legdetestinus, sacilos.
Almost seems they do wish to conquer everything and will not stop at Manon. Why the Salkath believe themselves invulnerable, I have no idea.
Forgives king, malde, distrade boys, condram de valte caldete, kiotros sesiandande, kiotro temus king, forgive menig, infibudos clam todos dan, menstila castis tundos des, etiol, Cierta, endundanzina, soletanilist, tiburodus anvilus. Kiatro temuski, tuovo gelmenig, infibudos clam todos dan, menstila castis tundos des. Forgives king, malde, distrade boys, condram de valte caldete, kiotros sesiandande, kiotro temus king, tuovo gelmenig, infibudos clam todos dan, menstila castis tundos des, forgives king, malde, distrade boys, condram de valte caldete, kiotros sesiandande, etiol, tanfer, calavan Cierta. Forgives king, malde, distrade boys, condram de valte caldete, kiotros sesiandande, kiotro temus king, tuovo gelmenig, infibudos clam todos dan, menstila castis tundos des, soletanilist, unsinlande, etiol, tanfer, destolono confidos legdetestinus, sacilos, silsmurcodancle, tiburodus anvilus, denunsunde, etiol, tanfer, calavan Cierta, endundanzina, soletanilist, tiburodus anvilus, forgives king, malde, distrade boys, condram de valte caldete, kiotros sesiandande, kiotro temus king, tuovo gelmenig, infibudos clam todos dan, menstila castis tundos des, silsmurcodancle, tiburodus anvilus, denunsunde, etiol, tanfer, calavan Cierta, endundanzina, soletanilist, tiburodus anvilus. Descanto, endundanzina, kiotro temus king, tuovo gelmenig, infibudos clam todos dan, menstila castis tundos des, denais be, destolono confidos legdetestinus, silsede, glasque dulfroi, soletanilist, unsinlande, etiol, tanfer, destolono confidos legdetestinus, sacilos, etiol, tanfer, calavan Cierta, Stilatas disturnos des Dorfagelos kin Bist malde Distrade Brust Gondram de Valte Caldete Kiobros Sessian Bande Unsindande Distrade Brust Gondram de Valte Caldete Silsa Soletanilist Unsinnende Destolono confidos legdetestinos Sacilos Dorfagilos kin Kiobros Sessian Bande Tagafan Silsa Infibrodos Clan Todos Dan Stilatas disturnos des Dorfagelos kin Bist malde Distrade Brust Gondram de Valte Caldete Kiobros Sessian Bande Kiobrotenos kin Dorfagel Bendig Infibrodos Clan Todos Dan Stilatas disturnos des NSP Destolono confidos legdetestinos Silsede
So nice to meet an impartial judge for a change.
Endondanzina Soletanilist Tiburodos Anvilus
You said it, not I.
Tagafan Silsa Dorfagelos kin Bist malde Distrade Brust Gondram de Valte Caldete Kiobros Sessian Bande
I hear you've been appointed as arbiter in Sunry's trial. My husband is innocent. Please don't let him go to jail for a crime he didn't commit. Sunry is... he's a cripple. There's no way he could have overpowered this Sith woman like they claim.
That's true. I'd forgotten about that. Let's not forget that he would have to have been considerably older than the Sith woman. I'm a Jedi, and one who is living alone in the Shadowlands until recently. That keeps you in shape, damn it. We're talking about Sunry here.
And there's no way he would do something so dishonorable as hit her from behind. Sunry's a decorated war hero. He's a hero of the Republic. Find the real evidence. That's all I ask. The real evidence will prove Sunry didn't do this.
Jolie, what are you doing here? Laura sent me, Sunry. I'm here to get you out of this mess. The courts went and made us arbiters for your case.
Just like old times, eh, Jolie? You come swooping in out of nowhere to save my tail from the fire?
You saved my wrinkle butt more than a few times as well, friend, if I recall. But there'll be time for catching up later. Right now, we need to focus on the case.
The case is a complete frame-up. Anyone looking at the evidence could see that. Or so I thought. But the cellcasts seem to think that there's enough to go to trial. There aren't any witnesses. All that evidence against me is circumstantial and completely flawed. Well, I was at the hotel, I admit. And I did meet Alasa there that night, but it's not what you think. I was working with Republic Intelligence. We were pretending to feed information to the Sith when I turned Alasa into a double agent working for us. It was going well, too, until she turned up dead. Maybe the Sith had found out I was turning her and had her eliminated. But let's look at the facts they've given. Alasa was brutally killed. Think about that. She was a Sith, trained in battle, and I'm just a crippled old man. My war injuries make it difficult for me to walk, even to hold things. See how my hands are shaking? How could I kill a Sith warrior at close quarters? I ask you! Further, they say they found my heroes cross at the crime scene. Would I leave my war medal behind if I killed someone? Even I'm not that stupid. Obviously, the Sith planted the cross. And what about the lack of forensic evidence? Skin and hair samples, clothing fibers. Why isn't there anything like that at the crime scene? Sounds like an obvious frame-up to me. I hope you can see how the Sith are manipulating the Cellcat, and probably even you to set up this against me. We need to get this over with quickly and clear my name. Anything else I can help you with? I want my arbiter to be well prepared before we go to trial. Guess you could interview witnesses at the hotel where the murder happened. Cellcath already did that, but the fish folk don't have much rapport with offloaders. Maybe one of them was holding something back. But I think you'd be better off investigating the Sith themselves. Maybe you could find some proof they planted evidence to frame me. Though that might mean figuring out a way into the Sith embassy. Anything else I can help you with? I want my arbiter to be well prepared before we go to trial. Go ahead, ask. Ask what you need to. I've got nothing to hide. How would they know? They weren't there. I heard some of the witnesses said that too, but I swear she was alive when I left. I wonder if the Sith have been putting pressure on people to get them to convict me. It wouldn't surprise me at all. They've had it in for me since the war. You should ask everyone about that. They might admit to helping the Sith under pressure. Very well. I suppose there is still much you must do before the trial. Once you've gotten enough evidence to go to trial, just tell the warden we're ready. The sooner I get out of the cell, the better.
Jolie, may I have a moment? There's something I wish to speak to you about.
Yep, I figured it was only a matter of time until we had the whole come back to the order discussion. Well, I guess there's no avoiding it now, so let's get it over with.
I know you have issues with the Order, but you are a Jedi, Jolie. You command the Force. Without the guidance of the Council, how can you avoid falling to the dark side?
Well, I've managed to avoid it the last 20 years or so. Besides, light side, dark side, they don't mean the same to me as they do to you. I don't see in absolutes. I want to stop Malik as much as anyone, but I don't have to join the Order to do it. Look at Karth or Canderous. They're with us in this quest, but they aren't Jedi. The capacity for good or evil, like the Force itself, is in all living creatures. And belonging to the Jedi Order, or the Sith, or any group, won't change what you are at your core.
I see you were quite adamant. No doubt you've had ample time to think on this during your long seclusion. I guess it was foolish of me to think I could sway your position so easily.
Yeah, I'm old and stubborn. But I appreciate the effort. But from now on, you can just think of me as any other non-Jedi in our little group, with a lightsaber and Force powers.
You're the one defending Sunry now, huh? Well, the hotel's open for you. And I guess I gotta answer any questions you want, too. The Sith woman, Alasa, rented a room in the hotel. An hour or two later, Sunry comes in and goes to her room. A couple hours later, I hear a blaster shot and see Sunry running. He can't run good because he's a cripple, but he still was going pretty fast. I would swear he started after the shot, though. Yeah, I'm pretty damn sure he left after the shot went off. No, I don't think so. I mean, it's possible, just barely. But I wouldn't say that to the court. Yeah, I'll tell the court Sunry left before the shot went off.
I guess this is what they call working the system. Not that I'm objecting. I just hope the Selkath don't find out about it.
Now, was there anything else you wanted? Elasa used to rent rooms here every week or so. Then Sunry would come by a couple hours later and stay all night. It doesn't take a genius to figure out what was going on. There were only 2 other people in the hotel when it happened. One was a Rhodian named Glupor. Seems like a really dirty, shifty type. Normally I don't let his kind in here. I'm a reputable businessman, you know. But there weren't many people here, so I decided to take a chance. The other is a regular named Firith Me. He's a Pazak player. Probably an addict, but he claims he's big in some circles. Don't know anything about him other than that. Anything else you want to know? Well, okay. If you need anything else, I'm gonna be right here.
You with the Selkath? You here to see me about the murder, too? I told the damn fish everything I knew. What more do you all want from me? Sunry, I only heard of once or twice in passing. Some sort of old-time war hero against the Sith. Seen him around in the hotel, too. Going to Alasa's room always, of course. Kept the rest of the building up half the night with their damn antics usually. I'm not saying anything like that. What they did in that room in private is their business. And there isn't any rule against Sith and Republic seeing each other for personal reasons. Although if you think her Sith master didn't know, you must be fooling yourself. Well, Alasa was a Sith, so of course she'd have to have someone above her. Yeah, I didn't see anything. Since you put it that way. Well, one time, I saw Alasa coming in wearing this big cloak. I was on my way to my room, and she normally wears stuff like that, so I didn't pay her too much attention. But this time, I accidentally brushed up against her. Accidentally, of course. And her cloak fell open. Now, I don't have any qualms about the Sith. I leave them alone, and they leave me alone. And seeing as how Alasa had a Sith lightsaber under her cloak, I'm not going to poke that hornet's nest. Seems so. But I'm not getting myself in any further with the Sith. I know how ruthless they are. Now that's all I'm going to tell you. I'll testify it to the court, but you aren't going to get anything else out of me.
Chiki kun selkat, Jona mulira tong glupor kingba no kun nek lorcha. Glupor tong hit wanaji selkat agi inko tune, glupor mulira, chuna mulira, tong glupor kitpa non kun nek sit abog. Glupor yon tung chiwi ita, bola un jikne mulira glupor, kon muli slimo pui wanga kun viskin. Glupor kingba nikcha lora kun. Glupor chi ita kanki chana kilikon. Glupor nibo jimata wipun nage. Tong abag sun sham u glupor ninong. Glupor tong hit wamaji salkat ag inko tune. Tong kingba no kun nikset abog. Glupor picha ge borang turang. Glupor wangki yuma batmalyaw no wish. Glupor no una pangpa, mulira kongking. Glupor chang wapa chingo, shangli chama ucha wish uyong kung. Glupor tong itwa machi. Glupor tang abag shang glupor non pitesa. Yun patisa. Glupor chiwi aita ka tong chicha. Glupor nibo jimata wipuna. Glupor tatiya baba Hasan Shan. Glupor chubachi joba kun wata. Glupor wanga kunvist kung abashun ni chunchi. Glupor kingba muli rab wanaji.
You, Jedi, I hear you are investigating the Sunry murder trial, are you not? This case is not at all what it appears to be. Many currents, might I say, flow beneath the surface. This murder is much more complicated than it may first appear. The Sunry and Elassa are proxies for their governments, and both sides want the other to fail. You can see the journey by the footprints. You understand, yes? Dear, dear. I'm saying they both had something to do with it. They've both kept their hands in this from the start. If you want to get to the bottom of this murder, you might seek information from both the Sith and the Republic, likely in their embassies. No, of course not. You think state secrets are for sale on the common market? You would have to be devious to get what you want. Heed my advice, Jedi, and you may yet find the truths in this murder.
I hear you've been appointed as arbiter in Sunry's trial. My husband is innocent. Please don't let him go to jail for a crime he didn't commit. Of course not. Yes, he was having an affair. He was seeing that Sith woman. After all these years we've been together, he just dropped me like that. Not publicly, oh no. But inside, that's what it feels like. He started seeing Alasa last year. I had my suspicions for a while, but he was careless. Pretty soon everyone knew. But even though I'm sure that harlot was only using him, I know he couldn't have killed her. He came and confessed to the affair to me. He said he was going there to break it off, to end it. Maybe the Sith woman attacked him, and he had to defend himself. But even though he cheated on me, inside he's still the man I loved. Love. He's too kind and gentle to have killed her in cold blood. That was a long time ago, in a war far, far away. He's changed now, settled down. Just please, prove his innocence. Find the real evidence. That's all I ask. The real evidence will prove Sunry didn't do this.
Joey, coming to check in on an old man? I must confess, I would rather you were here to speak to the warden and begin my trial.
Soon, old friend. We don't want to go to trial until we've got the whole picture.
Oh, I grow weary of staring at these four bare walls. But I suppose you know what you're doing. You know, the role of arbiter cannot be taken lightly. Go ahead, ask. Ask what you need to. I've got nothing to hide. A Rodian? I didn't know there were any Rodians on Manan. Oh, except for Tyvark and this one named Glupar who's hanging around the hotel all the time. Okay, so maybe there are a whole bunch of Rodians on Manan. But what does that matter? If he planted evidence at the scene, it's a clear sign of a frame-up. He probably took all the evidence of the real killer at the same time. The evidence of a Sith conspiracy keeps getting stronger, doesn't it? I suspect there's still stuff you want to clear up. Go ahead, ask. Ask what you need to. I've got nothing to hide. Oh, okay. What else do you want to know? Very well. I suppose there is still much you must do before the trial. Once you've gotten enough evidence to go to trial, just tell the warden we're ready. The sooner I get out of the cell, the better.
When I get out of here, you're dead! I'll gut your fishy little corpse, cut off your head, and bathe in your blood!
It is an honor to see justice served, and I will see Sunry is executed for the crime he has committed.
The man I saw leaving, Sunry, probably left after I heard the blaster shot.
The guilt of the accused is apparent even this early in the trial. You are feareth me, the well-known Pazak player. I wonder if we can trust the word of a gambler as reliable testimony. Of course, Your Honor. Feareth me. What did you see the night of the murder?
Well, I came out into the hallway after hearing the blaster shot and saw Sunry over there limping down the hall out of the building.
A very obvious point, Your Honors. The accused was seen leaving the scene of the crime after the blaster that killed Elasa was fired.
You mean actually see him kill her with my own eyes? Well, no, but I don't think there could have been anyone else there. I think it may have been. I mean, you'd have to be pretty stupid to leave something that important lying around, wouldn't you? Well, he was moving pretty fast running away, but yeah, I mean, how could he kill a Sith warrior in combat? I don't know for sure. Yes, from what I could tell, she carried a lightsaber under that cloak of hers.
Objection! That doesn't prove she was a Jedi. Glupor the Rhodian, you were staying in the hotel the night of the murder and saw Sunry leaving Elasa's room, didn't you?
Glupor jiking wata Sunry mulira. Kingun jupa shak glupor. No ba mulira set kilai konka.
This is clear, then, that Sunry left the room with the Sith Elasa already dead behind him.
Glupor tong hi mama ji glupor aki unkotun sit. Glupor no mulira chuni mulira tong Sunry. King ba no konik dorcha. Chubaka chupa glupor. Chawa whisky sit. Glupor ka chopa chawa wisyun kun. Ogra shok chong kanti chak hudro. Glupor kan king David nibora tong chitsa. Tong Sunry kingbo no kun nik dorcha. Glupor wana kunlist. Kingu mwa mulira dwana. Tong abag son nig nung chi. Glupor.
Don't do it, Glupor.
Glupor kan king David nibora tong chitsa.
Lies! Slander! I object!
Glupor wonky.
You, Elora, are Sunry's lawful wife. Your husband was a hero in the last war between the Sith Empire and the Republic. He was crippled in that war. Do you not believe he'd blame the Sith for his injury?
Yes, I guess he would.
And there you have motive. Sunry seeks revenge on the Sith for what they did to him and killed Elasa.
Yes. Yes, it was true. He was having an affair with that Sith harlot.
It seems painfully obvious that he killed her to keep her quiet about the affair.
He'd been seeing her for some time, I think. But he said he was going to change. He'd gone there that night to end it. We talked the night before and he'd promised. But now things have become so very complicated. He was a good man, but his injuries pained him terribly. But he always held on, always persevered. I don't think he could have beaten her or anything like that. But a blaster? I just don't know. Yes, he fought against the Sith in the last war. He fought bravely and was even awarded the Hero's Cross. I don't know how much that means to the Sith or to your Selkath, Your Honors. But in the Republic, it is awarded only to the bravest, most valorous, most honorable men. The kind of man who earns that medal would not kill someone in cold blood.
I wish to call forth Sunry himself, Your Honors. Are you a war hero, Mr. Sunry? You fought in wars against the Sith Empire, correct?
Yes, that's right. And I don't regret it either. The Republic needs its heroes.
Indeed. Would you say that you dislike the Sith? Even hate them?
Of course I hate them. Trying to take over the galaxy every chance they get, killing millions of innocents?
Pure politics. Were you in Alassa's room on the night of the murder?
Well, yes, I was. I had been having an affair with Alassa and my wife, yes. But I realized how wrong I'd been, and I was going there to end it.
You were having an affair with a Sith. You wanted to end it quickly and quietly, so you killed her from behind and tried to flee.
No,
I think we can see the answer clear enough, Mr. Sunry.
Of course she was. Why would a young, beautiful Sith woman get with an old cripple like me? I don't know. The medal had gone missing some time ago. I never found out what happened to it. It's possible the Sith had stolen it and had it planted on the body.
Supposition, Your Honors?
Yes, I think they would. They wouldn't want to lose one of their sources, even though I didn't give them anything. They might have killed her for her failure. Or they might have thought she'd turn against them or something like that.
The Sith Empire is not the barbaric institution you portray it to be. I think the facts in this case are very straightforward. Sunry was having an affair with Elasa. He sought to end it, and the simplest, quickest method, given his hatred of the Sith, was to simply kill her. Witnesses saw Sunry fleeing the scene, and material evidence places him there at the time of the murder as well. I am confident that any informed observation of the facts will lead the judges, Your Honors, to this very conclusion. Well, that doesn't mean a thing. He was there, running from the room. Objection! The Sith would not leave the medal of her killer clutched in her hand. Your Honors! No!
Oh, Sunry, I'm so glad.
Elora, we have done all we could for you, old friend. Thank you for saving me. I don't know how I can repay you. Elora and I are going to leave here and get as far away from all this as soon as we can. I and the Republic will not forget what you've done for us. Thank you.
Got something on your mind, dude? Innocent. I don't know what to make of it, to tell the truth. Do you think justice has been done? I see. I am not so sure. If he did kill that woman, Sunry's going to have to live with that on his conscience. And if he's justified her death in his mind, well, Sunry was a good man once. I only hope that is still the case. I enjoyed his company. I don't want to talk about this anymore. My jaw aches.
Todos